put first things first, habit 3, and it's from the bestseller book, as we said, we're going through on this. And so we recap like what just now Rusali's sister was talking about. Habit 1, you have learned on being proactive. That is the choices that we make. And habit 2 is begin with the end in mind, which means that whatever decision you make or things that you want to do, you craft it out first and understand what is your vision, mission statement. Then you will know how to steer your life. And so let's explore further for today. Then if you know about your mission and vision, how are you going to prioritize? Because we have so many things in our life, right? I mean, I know that a lot of the audience here are between the age of 15 to 35, and some of us may be even over 35 years old. And those below 35 could be like still studying between the age of 15 to 20 years old. And like myself, I'm already working. I've been working in various industries. I've been a cabin crew before, flying with Singapore Airlines for like 14 to 15 years. And then I stopped, I joined community services. And so we need to manage our time. And in the younger days, I have so many things to do. And I was just thinking of how to manage our time. And most of the time, how do we do it? We will do it in the calendar, right? We will schedule it and we'll put in our timetable, who to meet, what to do next, all the tasks. So do you think that you can really manage time? And can we really manage time? So I shall ask you guys to answer this question. We will go into the Menti. Yeah, so do you think you are good at managing time? So you can go to this www.menti.com and the code is there.
Hey everyone, I request you to please go on to menti.com and type in the code on your screen real quick.
Yeah, by the way, when you are doing this, right, because I'm in my presentation slide, I cannot really see you. Yeah. Wow, there's answer like yes, no, have tried it, tell me more. Okay, good. Looks like a lot of them knows how to manage time.
Guys, the code, I'm just going to read it out for you. It's 702403, just in case.
We have about 100 over people, but only 45 responding.
No, they're going at it. They're going at it.
Yeah. So Rosalie, I just also very curious. Do you know how to like manage time, or you also does this quite often yourself?
What, prioritizing?
Yeah.
I mean, am I supposed to be honest? I honestly, I try my best. I try my best. What I like to do with managing my time is I like to do it like by the hourly basis. So like, 24 hours in a day. And if whatever my task for the day is, for example, if I have to study, so that's like 8 hours. And then the remainder of the hours, I divide it, like 2 hours to exercise, like maybe 1 hour for a nap, and then like 1 hour for my meditation, things like that. So I like to stick to sort of an hourly schedule.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I mean, my personal experience is I also have like a calendar. I put it in my phone and I'll put this time to this time what I would do. And I realized that actually I have so much things to do, right? I always push, like rescheduling until in a point of time, sometimes I'm quite like a bit fed up, like rescheduling again. I'm not sure whether the rest of them will have this kind of experience.
I think everyone does a little bit.
Yeah, so then actually I chanced upon one book that I read. In fact, actually, it's very difficult for one person to manage time. It's not really that possible. In fact, we cannot really manage time. We can only manage ourselves, manage our life, the choices
that is so well said. That is really well said.
So that's why then I learned that in fact, it's quite true. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We have 75 responses here.
Okay. So in fact, actually, a lot of them, they know how to effectively know how to mention. That's good to know. Okay, shall we
That's
move
nice.
on?
Yeah. Yep. Let's move on.
Okay. So I'm going to share my screen again. Okay, so first thing first, what does it really mean from the book that said, is it urgent? It's the same as important. So maybe you have to think about that. So, and I know that urgent does not mean important. And you know what? People always do easier, urgent things they like first. But very often they forgot the important things in life that they need to do. So in fact, we need to pick the ones that are important, for example, in our life, work, relationship, and our health. I'm not sure whether have you actually did some of your time prioritize into whether is it 20% in your life or things that you want to achieve, your dreams, your goals, maybe 20 or 30%, you really put a lot of time in your work, maybe in your studies, you know, or in your career. Did you really invest time in your relationship with your family members? You know, if some of them are into relationship with girlfriends or boyfriends, or if you are married, you know, with your spouse, your husband and wife. And what about your own health, your own well-being, your physical, mental, and emotional health? So we know that first things usually reflect actually our own inner values. What are your inner values and what gives the importance?
Wow, that is so important. I never thought of it this way. That's so cool.
That's right. And so we need to pick wisely. So now we want to know what exactly are important in us and what do we actually value? Is it family? Is it your schoolwork? You know, I know that those who are in school, they have a lot of projects to do, case study to do, or, you know, research to do. Is it relationship with your parents, your siblings, your brothers and sisters, your grandparents? Is it your career that you want to climb the corporate ladder? You want to be the, you know, at the top of your career? Is it any accomplishments, you know, taking all the medals, the awards that you always dream of? Is it your self-interest hobby? I know some people like to go fishing or maybe sports. And yeah, they put a lot of time in that. What about, is it our physical, mental, emotional well-being? Will you?
I think, Christina, that's where the meditation comes in, right? Physical, mental, and emotional well-being.
Yes, we have so much to do, right? And I think meditation really helps me, and I really enjoy.
I think in that sense, you know, we're blessed with our meditation practice, you know. So
that's right. I'm very thankful. Actually, I got to know about Heartfulness meditation from my husband's cousins and Singapore, and they introduced to me on Heartfulness meditation last year, and I started on it, and it was really wonderful journey. Yeah, thank you for my receptor. Yeah.
Fun.
Okay, is it making an impact in the community? I know some people love to do charity work, like to be a volunteer. Like myself, we are also volunteers in youth, right? The Youth 2.0
Correct.
in this event, yeah. And it's really a very rewarding journey. And
it
some
really
people,
is. It's so rewarding.
yeah, indeed. And we really put our time out there and just for other people. Sometimes we felt it's very fulfilling, isn't it, Rusali?
Yeah, it is. And you know, we get to make the best friends, like all of us, you know, who've been working together. It's been amazing.
Yeah, indeed. So now we want to ask, like, all those things that we reflected, the values, do you feel like you accomplish all your goals set for that particular week? Because you're planning your time and achieving all those that you set out you want to achieve. Maybe we shall see what's the audience, their response on this question.
Okay. We want to go on to thementee.com and type in 702403. I'm actually taking the mentee myself. I love the mentees.
I see. Nice.
Wow, look at these Game of Thrones memes. I wonder how many of you have watched Game of Thrones here.
Game of Thrones. Yeah, I watched it. It was really nice.
Now, be honest, guys. So once again, it's 702403 on menti.com.
Yeah, it's coming up. Actually, a lot
Wow.
of people say, yeah, but how to work on it? Yes, of course. You know what, Rusali, I really love to hear from the 9 people who said that, yes, they know
Yes,
how
session. You guys are so accomplished, all these 9 people.
Yeah.
10 people, there's 10 of them. Wow, great responses. I mean, people are being really honest and we appreciate that. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, for myself, I do plan for the goal setting and all. There is like short-term goals, right? And also long-term goals.
Correct.
And so sometimes we might lost in the way. Yeah.
I think, you know what it's about, Christina? We all get so overwhelmed by so many different things that we have to do. So it's really about prioritizing what's, like you said, urgent versus important, right? That's what the key sort of balance is. Like, what do I need to do right now versus what can I do later? You know, that's where you make the distinction.
Yeah, right. And a lot of time people chose urgent instead of important. And at the end of the lifetime, then they realize, oh, I have not done the important things, but I'm just being firefighting on the urgent matters. They didn't really sit down and really reflect. Yeah.
Correct. You are so right. We never really actually think about what's important versus what's urgent.
Yeah, that's right. So there's something. So now we shall move on.
Move on, yes.
Yes. All right, so every one of us, we know what we value most and have identified what's most important in our life. So what's next? Just like Rusali said, prioritize. It's that simple, isn't it? So why don't we put first things first? There are factors that affect us as shared from Stephen Covey. He said that there's external or internal factors that actually affect the decisions that we make and the things that why we're not able to do it first. So maybe I want to hear from the audience. What are the factors that affect your priorities?
I think this is the slide that came up earlier, right? Maybe we already did this one.
No,
No, we didn't. Never mind. We didn't do this
yeah.
one. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, guys, go on to Menti again. And this is an important question, guys. Menti.com, 702403. This is an important one.
Yeah. I know that maybe a lot of the audience are so eager to ask questions, but don't worry.
The chat box is open, so write whatever you want to, put your responses and questions in there. We would love to hear from you.
So Rusali, may I ask you, what do you think are the factors that affect our priorities? I'm not sure, have you read the book about this highly effective 7 people, 7 habits of highly effective people?
Have I read it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm doing? Actually, I'm reading as we go. So each week I start reading the habit on Monday. That's what I start doing. And so today, I finished reading habit number 3. So on Monday, I'm going to start with habit number 4. But it's this chapter is actually such an important key chapter. And I think to me, see, look at the responses coming in. I think I would agree. Laziness,
Yes.
That's a big one.
Yes, it is. Yeah, that's really a big one.
Look at look at all the responses or social media. That's a big one.
Yeah, and procrastination, I saw that.
Yeah. Family, some people say family.
Family affect their choices. Oh no.
Look at that.
Hmm.
Confusion. Yeah, I feel that confusion. Deadlines, urgency. Yeah. See, we all are go through the same thing.
Yeah, I saw phone. You know, is it talking too much on the phone with some people? That's why
No,
affect. Like,
I think for me also like social media, Netflix, all of these things.
yeah, it's quite true.
Mood.
I love
Someone
to watch
wrote
that.
mood on there.
Yeah, because sometimes the full day of working, you just want to relax
Yeah.
and chill. And
Yeah.
so I love to watch Netflix or play my games, computer games. I love
Yeah.
that.
Big distractions. Well,
I
thanks
like it.
guys for being so honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can.
Christina, this is a small question. How do we limit our distractions with so many things going on?
Yes, I understand. We move on and then the question will come back to you at the end, sister. Thank you so much. But I can see very
Yeah,
big.
we're doing a question and answer session towards the end of the session. So everyone, just hold on, hang on to your questions and put them in the chat box, please.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
saw somebody said stay focused.
Yeah, stay focused. Yeah, someone's probably one of those 10 people who already know what to do.
Precisely. Yeah. I'm still learning anyway. That's why tonight we are learning here in this time together. So
Absolutely.
shall we?
Yeah, let's move on to the next slide. Thanks for your
Okay.
responses, guys, once again.
Yes.
And
Thank
don't
you
worry,
so
we're gonna have all your questions in the end. So please keep them coming. Type them in the chat box, and we're gonna get back to your questions.
Yes. Okay, so now let's take a closer look. This is what Stephen Covey was saying. The external factors that affect your choices that you can't put first things first. It could be from culture, the laws, economy, and technology. Like we have been 40 to 50 years ago, right? Especially from our parents, our grandparents' time, the culture is very different. I'm not sure if you all noticed that at that time, it's a more friendly environment. Now it's more like city environment. You're living in the urban areas. There's so many buildings coming up. But because of all apartments that people are living together, no more like in the villages, people don't really meet each other so often. The culture has actually changed a lot. And even for the implementing of different laws and the flourishing of the economy and the technology, like a lot of gaming, like people are using a lot more on the phone, smartphone, and all those things, spending so much time on social media. And it does affect a lot of our choices and priorities. And, it's kind of hinder us. We thought that we are moving forward. Sometimes we may not actually move forward. And all of these things impacts what the decision that we make. Yeah. And so let's see what are the internal factors. So Stephen Covey said that actually all of us, inside of us, we have a true north. There is a compass inside of us. And this true north actually governs our life, especially how you make decisions and all the things that you do. You do have, and you do have a feelings. And like people say that like the sixth sense, And sometimes because we are so overwhelmed by the external factors, we are not able to actually kind of be sensitive to this true north compass that we have inside of us. So as we know that if let's say outside in no longer works for us, should we actually look inside out instead? That means look for our true north inside us to make the decisions, to make the choices for our life. So now I just want to know.
That's why our group is called Inside Out too.
Yes, that's right. I love that.
Yeah, I think we did this question at the start, so we can skip this one. We did this one, the yes and no. This one's done. So we can just move to the next slide.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so we're saying that how can you actually prioritize your time better? And these are the 4 things that you need to create a structure for yourself to make better choices, to do the important things first instead of the urgent things. A time to plan, a time to teach, a time to solve problems, and a time to have fun. So this was actually mentioned, like when you plan certain things, right? In the time that you plan, what are the things that you want to learn and to teach? Could be with your family members, with your peers, you know, and what are the problems that you have that you need to solve, you need to attend to it. And don't forget to have some fun as well.
Yeah, I think that's really important because stress, I think, is such a big factor of everyone's lives. I think that because everyone is so overwhelmed by the amount of tasks that they have to complete, the stress of it all gets to you. And so I love that you put that on your slide, you know, time to have fun. I think that's so important to do something outside of work or outside of studying, especially for students or, you know, business people. And it's so important to just have that me time. I think that's really
Yes,
important.
indeed. Do you know that I also read somewhere that told me that if you are so overwhelmed with just only keep on working, right? In fact, you don't even have time to be creative because your brain needs to pause for a while to actually help to reset and then to think and to create. If you keep on working and working and working and don't have time to actually pause and relax and have fun, it's actually not productive at all.
It's so important.
Yes. So if you say that it's so difficult, everybody say that we don't have enough time to do this and that, and it's so difficult. We have so much to accomplish. We have so much to fulfill our goals and dreams, right? So what Stephen Covey is saying that you need to make a commitment. So making the commitment to make that structure work, like just now earlier we mentioned about doing this planning, like what Vusali earlier said, she will plan her time weekly and by hourly. So likewise, we have to do that. And this is important. Yeah. So make the commitment is the key thing to tell people to be lazy, you know. Yeah.
Accepting it, you know, accepting the fact that, you know, okay, I'm gonna do this. So yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
And really commit in doing it.
yeah.
Yeah. So this is something that we can think about, discuss the idea of family time and one-on-ones. When I was reading his book, right, I think this is very important. I always believe in we start from our family. It's not about what we learn from school, from outside. Everything starts from family. And I think learning from our parents, from our grandparents is so important. And the times, even with my siblings, I have 2 brothers and a sister. I'm the eldest at home. I have 2 younger brothers. Of course, my 2 brothers are already married, and one of my brother, he just became a father. He just got his son born last week. Yeah. So
Wow, congratulations.
thank you. So I think family time is very, very important. And I feel that having the family times, that's what make who we are today, because we learn from each other and the family values, you know, and this is so important. That's why I find that you need to think about one-on-ones, like when we say in a marriage or with children, with friends, are the times that whether did you make time to have family visits. I'm not sure about Vushali. Do you, when younger days, you go and visit your grandparents, your auntie, uncles?
Yes, yes, of course we did. We did. You know, we used to take trips, family trips together. We used to go to India where my grandparents used to live, and we used to visit them every couple of years, go there, spend some time, meet my cousins and everyone. So yeah, I completely agree with you. It's important to stay close to your roots. It's important to touch base with the people you love. That is so important. It keeps you grounded. It keeps you sane, especially I feel like in this, you know, coronavirus era. I think everyone has understood the importance
Yeah, indeed.
from
Yeah,
someone
and
you love.
that's right. And we will plan times, actually, mostly when we are in our school days, we plan a lot of activities with our friends. And sometimes as you know, our adults, our parents are getting more busy. In fact, the time that we spend with our relatives or make those kind of family visits is becoming lesser and lesser and lesser.
Yeah, you're so right. I think we all
Yeah.
need to go back to the roots, you know, our friends and family.
Yes, I remember when I was younger, I actually almost, I think it's every week, every weekend, on Sunday or Saturday, my mom will bring me, my two brothers and my sister, will go to our grandparents' place, and all our auntie, uncles, our cousins, you know, they will all gather at our grandparents' place. And we had such a wonderful time. We will eat, sing song, you know, and play around, play a lot
I
of
know.
games just outside the house. That was really wonderful
Those are
time.
the best memories.
Yeah, and we really felt so loved and cared for one another. And I think because of those weekly weekends moments that we spend together, even now, like, you know, 20, 30 years later, we are so busy, grown up with our own, you know, all walks of life that we go to work. Even some of our family members migrated to other countries,
Yeah.
right? And so, but that connection is still so close. Yeah, and I really feel that that is very important.
And that's because
That's
you prioritize each other. That's the whole thing, right?
yes, that's right. You are right, because we make that time to spend together.
Yeah. Hey guys, can you mute yourselves, please? There's some disturbance. Whoever. Christina, unmute yourself.
I'm so sorry. Thanks for the
Yeah.
technical. I have to unmute everybody. I've forgotten that I have to unmute myself.
It's
So
all
that's
good.
why it's important that how could a weekly family time be helpful to us, and how could it, like, you know, what can we do in promote of the planning, the teaching, the problem solving, and having fun together. And so, like, you know, discuss the main thing is making the commitment to hold a weekly family time. In fact, now I'm married. I mean, although I don't have children yet, I feel that the time that because of my mom and my dad has made those family time is actually weekly. Every Sunday morning, my father will bring us to go for like to a hawker center to have a very nice breakfast. And that was the time I always enjoy it. And because of that, even though right now we don't live together, but the relationship and bonding is still there. So I feel that we should start young and really make this commitment to have family time weekly together, you know, despite how busy we are. And so working together to generate, like, you can discuss on what are the variety activities you like to do. Maybe some people love singing, they can organize a karaoke night, or they can have movie times together. And recently I found out even reading time. I started to have a weekly reading time with my husband. And we enjoy that even just for half an hour or 1 hour reading to each other. I asked him to read one paragraph and he read one paragraph. And then we discuss on what do you think about this book, you know. And we enjoy even those such simple activity that we can do together, especially now because of the COVID-19, we don't really able to go out. And even we think about how about taking a short video about each of us and tell stories. So these are the time that you can do some these kind of activities together to have the bonding time together.
Correct.
Yeah. So do write down and keep track of your activities in a planner of some kind. Schedule times to do special kinds of activities and services to one another. For example, maybe you tell your mom, say, hey, you know, mom, I know you have been so busy cooking for us, doing all the household work. Maybe this week, you know, I shall do the vacuuming or mopping of the floor. I shall do the laundry, or maybe I shall take care of the washing of the dishes. These kind of services, you know, will help to strengthen your relationship with one another. And it's good to always bring your planner, you know, because all of us, we have our own schedule, right? If you are studying, you have your school projects to do, your examination is coming, things like that. So if you are having your family meetings with your planner, you can straight away put in like what are the important dates, like gatherings. Yeah. So I just want to share on this story on the phantom family. that is shared in Stephen Covey's book. They say that they actually decided how they could serve their neighbors and friends in a clever and original way. What they did was that they came out and discussed as a family and say they want to do a service to someone, the neighbor, for their neighbors. So what happened, they make some like cakes, popcorns, candies, you know, and this kind of little snacks and sweets to send to their neighbor's home. And when they reach, they select which unit or which house they want to go to and bless their family. And they observe this family, what they do and happen to them. And they write a very little sweet note and tell them, say, you know, how I appreciate you. I notice every day you come out of the house, you know, that kind of stuff. And then with the little tree, they put at the door, and I think they ring the bell and they ran off. So the neighbors actually didn't know who did that kind of sweet service, making such a nice like snacks and sweets, giving out as a gift to them. And they did it for quite a while. They just enjoy it, you know. So they call themselves the Phantom Family. Yeah, nobody know who did that kind of service. So I think it's really kind of fun that we can do this to others, you know, and serving others, have a good time. At the same time, it's also a family time together. Yeah.
That's so nice.
Yes. So now we learn about the habit tree, put the big rocks in first. What are these big rocks that we are talking about? And many of them, they say that, hey, you know what, we don't have time to do all these things. So Stephen Covey said that you don't have time not to, because the key is to plan ahead and be strong about it. So we need to review what are the big rocks in our life and for your family as a whole. So like, for example, maybe I know some of them, they have special like events, or maybe the children have like performances and all this thing. Should you attend all this? And I know some people celebrate birthday. Should you attend your parents' family birthday parties? Or you would say that, hey, you know, I'm so busy, something happened at work, I need to do my work. What about time for yourself, like the meditation, you know, organizing around you? Okay, let's touch on this. How can the greatest role of parenting help children connect with their own gifts? So what happened is for Stephen and Sandra, they are a couple, and so they say that they usually, their schedule are very, very, they actually organize around what are their roles. For example, for married children, so their role is to be like be a parents to their children. But because their work, you know, schedule is so busy, and how can they apportion the time? So for example, if let's say this week their children needs their attention, then they will cancel some of their appointments at work or with their friends. So that is what they meant by organizing around their roles, you know, in their parenting. And very particular, they say that we actually, for us, all of us, we have these 4 unique human gifts, which is self-awareness, your own conscience in your heart, right? And your creative imagination and your own independent will. You have all the freedoms of all these 4 things, and you have to be very conscious and intentionally to apply all these things in your own life to make this thing work. So let's have a quick look back and ahead of us. How important is family to us, and how much time did we spend last week doing family activities? I really hope to hear many of you to share. How do we feel about it? Are we making family a priority in our lives? What are the forces in the society that tend to destroy the family? And how can we overcome these forces, like we have touched on already, and work together to generate a variety of ideas for family time activities? I'm sure all of you are very creative here, and you just need to commit it to do it weekly and make a visual chart to remind of all the chores, the activities, the fun things that you can do with each other for that week. All right. Okay, now I just want to hear from all of you. Really search deep inside yourself. What is most important in your life? Actually, it is how you feel about yourself. So this is the first thing, right? So Ask these questions to yourself, whether you feel good and lovable about yourself first. Because if your emotional bank is zero, it's not possible for you to give any love out, right? So your own emotional bank must also fill up first, and that is very important. Do you think that you are worth being loved? And do you think that things you do make you feel happy? And what can you do about it? If let's say you don't feel happy, you don't feel loved at all, what can you do about it? So this is your homework. Do think about that. You are very
These are
important.
really, really great questions.
Yes. And so these are some of the most important things that I Googled online that a lot of people are always asking. It may be your own important things in life as well, but the top 12 are the most important things that people has been always searching for it. It might not stop there. You might have your own list. So let's just review it. For example, good health, family support, yeah, social circle and your friends. Some people are so find that friends are so important above family members, right? They don't listen to family. They just want to mix with their own friends. And some they say, oh, I want to pursue all my ambitions, my goals. You know, I want to live in a big house. I want to drive the most fancy cars. You know, I want to go to some travel all around the world. These are some of the ambitions we might have and goals and dreams that we want to achieve. What about the freedom of action and thoughts? You know, I don't want to listen to you. I want just to be free, do nothing, be lazy. Maintaining a peace of life. Some people are so busy, they say, hey, you know what? I don't want to do anything anymore. I just want to have peace in my life. Some people always pursue in self-learning, like ourselves now, we want to acquire a lot of certification, education, self-development. Some is pursue love, right? They want to have boy-girl relationship. They want to quickly get married or maybe get out of the house because they don't feel happy at home or something like that. Compassion, some people do want to do a lot of good deeds. You know, they want to do charity work. They want to be volunteer. They felt more satisfying and fulfilling. An optimistic outlook. Some they pursue like going to many religious pursuit or, you know, seeking out spiritual faith in their life, all this kind of stuff. An important thing like oxygen, sleep, water, and food. This is really essential elements for our life.
That's my favorite point.
Yeah, it is my favorite and important also.
I
Actually,
think out
sleep.
of everything in life, I think that's what we truly, really need. And it's the only thing that doesn't take up any time, right? Oxygen comes to us, water and food is real quick, and sleep, everyone loves to sleep. That's the most important, guys. Make time for sleep. Sleep enough.
But you know, I must say that I'm a little bit guilty on that because I want to accomplish so many things in my life. And in fact, lately, I actually got on a lot of projects and I really deprive of sleep. I like maybe, in fact, just last week, I only sleep like 4 to 5 hours and it's really, really bad. Okay.
Mm.
I can really see my white hair is coming out already. So,
And wrinkles.
and wrinkles, yeah, because without sleep, your skin will be very dry, dehydration. So
Yeah.
watch out.
Drink your water, guys. I think,
I must.
jokes apart, Christina, this is a great list. And I think it's these things that really sort of define life. You know, I think at different ages, we have different priorities. And,
Yeah,
every decade of our life or every, couple of years of our life, our priorities change. And it's all about knowing how to balance everything and knowing what's important and what's not important and how to sort of not go overboard with one particular thing, sort of give a
yeah,
little bit of time to everything. I think that's what's really important here. What do you think?
the balance in life, correct. You know, as I was presenting this, in fact, I kind of like forgot on my breathing, you know, like I feel like out of oxygen.
Breathe a little bit.
Drink my water, you know.
See, you already ticked
But
off number 12 there.
yes, that's right. Wow, I can still see the audience are still staying with us until now. 120 people. That's
I know,
awesome.
not bad. Thanks, guys. I hope you guys are awake.
Maybe it's interesting. I believe it must be the slides. So colorful, right? I hope you guys love the slides because it's done by Swati. Really awesome slide.
Shout out
If
to
you,
her.
yeah, if you have seen my first slide, I mean the first version of the slide, nothing like this. It's just plain words that I typed, and then she did all this magic. Thank you,
She's
Swati.
Thanks, Swati. You're amazing.
Yeah, so we are coming towards the end already. So the conclusion is, if all those above are the important things in our life, what might be our having our own list, right? It may not match yours. So you need to really search in your own compass, your true north compass. And what are the things you really want to achieve and enjoy? So do you know how to apply this habit 3, put first things first, which is the important things in your life first, and also find the answer within yourself. Take some time, pause, have a pause, like time to yourself, search within yourself, and definitely I'm sure you will get the answer. And I know that we are in these heartfulness practices, and I came to heartfulness practice is also because I want to search within. I always looking outside, like even for taking education, develop self-development. I always love to learn. I love to read. In my house, I have a lot of books. Yeah, because it's not that I want to be knowledgeable, but I'm very curious. I love to learn, and I love people of all around the world, different race, ethnic groups, culture. I just love that vibrancy of life itself. So
True.
sometimes, yeah, and sometimes I actually forgotten to pause and look within. And in fact, why I said so, because of all these pursuits in my life, right? In fact, I already didn't really have planned my time to like make a weekly phone calls or spending time with my parents. And they are getting older and older. So actually, recently, I asked myself that if they are important in my life, I should actually put them inside first. And they should be the important, like, placing the big rocks, like when you put a jar, you have to put the big rocks as the important thing, then you fill in the sand, all then after that,
Yeah.
all the, right? Yeah, not the other
Oh,
way
yeah.
around.
So I guess when it comes to putting first things first, for you, it would be right now, your priority would be like your family and,
Yes.
your reading, your me time, your time with your
Yeah,
husband. So right now for you, it's family, which is
that's
beautiful.
right. Thank you. So now is questions time.
All right, guys, let's hear it. We already have a couple of questions, Christina. So
Mm-hmm.
the first one is by Richa, who
Yeah.
asked us earlier, how do we limit our distractions with so many things going on? That's a very important question.
Yeah, I mean, I may not have all the answers here. I'm sure all the brothers and sisters here and our friends, you can also contribute, in the chat box, because I feel that we can give suggestions and ultimately it's your own choice,
Yeah, we
because
have to, I
everyone,
think, help ourselves, help each other be better, right? So
that's
pop in
right.
your answers, guys. What do you think is the best way to stay away from distractions or. But yeah, what do you think, Christina? What would you do to limit distractions?
I think that for myself, okay, in fact, I'm not a very focused person. I easily distracted. For example, if I on the internet reading some articles and then something pop-ups, right? I will go inside the screen and check on what it is. So distraction is in fact a very, I think is the biggest things that I sometimes feel very challenging to overcome. So what I do is that I force myself, really put in the time, say that, hey, I have to commit myself in this 1 hour, in this 45 minutes to finish this work. I make sure I finish this work. And then I'll put a checklist and tick it and say that, hey, I done this. And that's how I keep to not being distracted.
You
Yeah.
like to keep checklists. That's a great one. So we
Yeah.
have
For
another question. This is a really great question. how do we get the access to our internal compass with all the external factors being so overwhelming? Right? How do you find your true north from inside? You know, like,
yeah, it's a good question. Okay, personally, as I mentioned that, in fact, because of the heartfulness meditation, it helps me to recenter myself. So I look within, and with that practice, it does help me. I know some of you here may not know and understand what is a heartfulness meditation. Not to worry about it, which means that you really also have to schedule a time and sit down, close your eyes, and be quiet. If you cannot do it, I know that a lot of things in our mind and head, right? And sometimes it's so difficult just to close your eyes and be quiet. So I sometimes may play some soothing music or put some like aromatherapy essential oil, or to just calm myself first, and then I will center myself. And I know that in the beginning I cannot do it for long. Maybe I just sat there for 10 minutes, just close my eyes and listen to some soothing music, or maybe can go out for a walk, just take that
just clear your
pausing.
head.
Yeah,
that's great. Actually, I love the candle thing. I'm going to try that next time.
okay.
We have, what is an example of something that could be urgent but not important? Wow, this is a great question, guys.
Yeah. So what do you mean by urgent? Like, to yourself, what is urgent? Like maybe your boss asks you to do something, or your teachers ask you to hand out an assignment, and that is urgent. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what they mean. What would be the distinction between something urgent that needs to be done right now, but it's not important? Like it could wait, but it's like urgent.
Okay. My take on this is, I think it's communication skill and negotiation skills. You should be, for example, somebody needs your time or do something urgently, and you know that there's something more important. You should use your communication skills and tell them, say, hey, look, do you think we can reschedule this? Can I do this another time? Remember the prioritizing? Yeah, you should exercise that. Like, for example,
yeah, you're absolutely right. That's where like heartful communication comes into play, right? Where we learn to tell people kind of, I need my like time, or I need my space, or something like that.
Yes, in fact, I had this happen this afternoon. Because of this session, the talk, right? I have to prepare myself. It's my first time doing it, and I'm very, very nervous. Honestly, I'm very nervous. But I also have my work, my project. And today is a weekend. It's not my work day. But my office, my colleague called me, hey, this and that. I told her, I said, I'm so sorry. I can't talk to you now because this is more important for me and I need to attend to it. And I have told you on Friday I have this talk coming out. I still need to prepare, even though I have prepared, a few weeks ago. So then my colleague said, oh, sure, no problem. You can do it next week. So it's negotiation and communication.
That's great. That's great. Negotiation and communication. Okay, we have another question. How do we encompass, because they will end up disturbing the schedule in place already for a long-term goal? Wow. Really profound, guys. How do we, like, there's, like I said, your priorities change with time. So how do we sort of adjust our long-term goal and make space for new priorities? I think that's what they're trying to say.
Okay, I can't answer this question for you because you know what is important for yourself. And remember the habit number 2, begin the end in mind. What did you actually set out? What is your mission and what is your vision? And then be proactive. You can always, like, I remember one of my mentor, my teacher always tell me, if that is so important, if that is your goal, right? You can change, the plans can be changed, the schedule can be changed, but your goal, your destination, is the final destination that you want to be, that cannot be changed. But in between, you can make the adjustment, and you have to learn from people, how do they do it? Learn from people, how can they overcome? You can find a coach, find a mentor, yeah, and then to help you on that.
That's true. That's mentor is really important, I think.
Yes.
I think we have time for one last question. That would be, how important is other people's work that depends on you but takes up a lot of time to carry out? Is it a high priority, especially favors that help others and especially at work? I think this is an important question for everyone because I think a lot of people feel really pressured at their workplace or maybe at university or at college, you know, that a lot of peer pressure or a lot of pressure from your bosses to do something urgently. So I think this is a great question.
Hmm.
How important is it that you do other people's work that, especially for people who are dependent on you to get it done?
I think it is a wonderful question. I have that as well. I believe it's always because we want to avoid looking bad, trying to look good, avoiding looking bad. And then because of that, we cannot be authentic. We can't be truthful, you know. I feel that we should always be truthful and let people know, you know, what do you stand for and what are important things. I think again boils down to communication, how you present yourself, how you brand yourself. I know some of them are introverts, some of them are extrovert, and we all are different and unique. But because you definitely has because people do not know you, right? You need to establish that relationship, that communication, and tell people and let people get to know you, that what are important things for you. So then you can negotiate and communicate more effectively with your peers, with your family members, with anything, and then you'll feel much happier. I don't know whether I answer right.
No, I think that was really important. So I think we're done with the Q&As, but I want to ask, as a woman, as an entrepreneur, what would be your biggest takeaway from habit number 3? Put first things first. That's from me to you.
Okay. For me, right, I feel that having the understand the values, what are important for me, and finding my own true north, that really helpful to me. Because as for prioritizing, if I know what is important, what are the values that I stand for, then behind on how to prioritize is actually much easier. Like for myself, I'm very clear on what is the business that I want to build and to establish. Then I'll work on that, and I will always surround myself with people who can help me in building my that vision and my goals, and also learn as much as I can and find mentors and be coachable as well. I think these are the steps that I will take for myself. Yeah.
Amazing.
So
thank you so much. And that's all for the Q&A, guys. Thank you for asking such amazing, deep questions. I hope you got the answers that you were looking for. And now we're going to move on to the relaxation and meditation session so that we can truly, you know, soak it all in, internalize what we've just learned from the past 40 minutes. And we have with us our wonderful Kaushik brother, who is going to guide us through meditation and relaxation tonight. And thank you for having being patient, and thank you everyone for listening. So please stay for the meditation, and I promise you it's going to be, you're going to come out of this feeling amazing. So over to you, Kaushik.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Kushali, and
Good evening.
thanks a lot, Christina. Like, it was a great session.
Thanks.
Really liked it.
Sorry, should I stop my screen sharing or just keep it like
No, it's fine. It's fine. We can keep it. So, yeah, like, I think there are many points wherein, you know, the focus or, you know, the points of focus and the meditation has, you know, come up during your conversations. And maybe this is the part where you can really experience and, you know,
Yes.
I'm sure like you would really enjoy the meditation, and how integrating the habit with the meditation can really help us in, you know, making the points for the day. Okay, let's start with it. I'll start, you know, we'll be starting with a very gentle relaxation, which will be for about 5 to 8 minutes. And then we'll slowly slip into the meditation part, which will be for about 15 to 20 minutes. So I'll put up the guidelines on, you know, on how we are going to relax and also how we are going to meditate, so that if anyone, you know, who are not really sure of the points or where you have a little confusion, you can refer to the screen and you will be able to understand that. So, okay, let's start with it. So, okay, I want to make one more point. We are going to start with the relaxation, and by the end of the meditation, please continue the meditation till you hear that's all. Gently close your eyes and feel yourself getting completely relaxed. Start with your feet. Feel your feet getting relaxed completely. Feel the energy from Mother Earth entering your feet and is relaxing your feet. Relax. Now gently move your attention towards your knees and feel them getting relaxed completely. Your knees, your lower legs, and your feet, they're all getting relaxed. Relax. Gently move your attention towards your upper legs and your thighs. Feel the energy from earth flowing through and is relaxing your legs completely. Release any strain that you feel on your legs and gently relax them. Relax. Move your attention towards your back, your lower back, your buttocks, and your entire back is now getting relaxed. Breathe in and breathe out. Relax. Now bring your attention towards your shoulders and feel your shoulders melting away. Feel them getting relaxed completely. Release any strain or stress that you feel near your neck muscles. Relax. Breathe in and breathe out. Relax. Now bring your attention towards your hands, your elbows, your fingers and your fingertips. Feel them getting relaxed completely. Relax. Breathe in and breathe out. Bring your attention towards your facial muscles. Relax your lips, your nose, your eyes and your eyelids being very gently closed. Your mind getting relaxed completely. Feel your entire body from the top of your head till the tip of your toes getting relaxed completely. Relax. Now gently bring your attention towards your heart. Feel your heart getting relaxed completely. Relax. Now give a gentle suggestion that there is a presence of light in your heart and the light is attracting you from within. Meditate on this light for about 15 to 20 minutes till you hear that's all. Ignore any thought that you get along this process and bring your attention gently back to the light on your heart. And please start meditation. That's all. Very gently open your eyes. And make a note of your condition in your journal.
Wow, that was very beautiful. Thank you for that, Kaushik. I think that's going to set the tone for all of us this whole weekend and I think all of next week. So thank you. And thank you, Christina, as well. This was beautiful and such an enlightening session.